What's up, guys? It's Micah again, and I'm back with vlog number 3 of Project Partridge. And I am no closer to an actual title for the game than I was last episode. The last idea I had was Sugar Plum Dawn, which is an blatant homage to Red Dawn. And the more I said it out loud, the dumber it sounded. So I'm still brainstorming on that front. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance if I don't smile more. The reason being, it's December, and with the climate in Seattle and my complete neglect of using chapstick, any horizontal movement on my lower lip is quite painful. And given that I work a job where I smile for 8 hours a day, they're sincere smiles, I mean them, but they still take a toll on my very dry face. And yeah, I'm done for the day. So, ow. So, game-wise, progress was way slower last week than before. I still got a lot done, but it all kind of happened yesterday. The first 5 days were spent chasing bugs. I'm using vectors now for all the game, like the object positions, the velocities, which way things are facing. And in doing that, I managed to wreck the underlying structure of all of my files. In the long run, it was beneficial. It was just, tedious. But after that, a lot of the new changes kind of fell into place, kind of clicked much faster. So, in the end, I think it was worth it. My one real disappointment for this round is I was hoping to have portals working, and I don't yet. The way I was going to do it was portals are how the character moves from room to room, level to level, and the way I was going to do it was by saving the world that you're leaving and loading the next one, and then just swapping out whichever location is the current one, kind of like the classic Mario games or in Zelda when the camera shifts around, and then when you go back, the same bad guys that you just killed are alive again. I still don't have those working. I'm thinking nowadays, since RAM is so cheap, and I mean, you can have like a couple gigs on your phone for crying out loud. Since RAM is so cheap, I'm just thinking of loading the entire world at once, and then only running the logic and the update on the section the player currently inhabits. The good part about that is it keeps things more persistent, so it feels like, the whole game takes place in one cohesive environment, which it does. So if you do something in one section, it's still there when you return to it. Less saving and loading. Of course, it's, more processor heavy, but again, memory is cheap nowadays. Well, cheaper. Either way, I need to get that working so I know how to do all my data saving. What I do have working is enemy AI. It's limited AI, but it's behavior that I can choose at random and have the game set it up dynamically based on the player's situation. So that's going to grow, and I'm actually using the same method to determine item effects. So let me show you what I'm talking about, and I'll explain as I go. So, I now have an actual, legit start menu. The last one was looking way too much like a PowerPoint slide. Nothing against PowerPoint, but I wanted something a little more gamey, and I now have that. And this is what we refer to as programmer art. And it is in no way a term of endearment. It is what programmers cobble together in as fast as possible time to get a concept working so the real, more talented artists can work on the graphics proper, knowing how they'll be used. But yeah, the menu actually works. Correction. The menu toggles these items, load game, options, extras. I don't know what extras I'm going to have, but I don't know. Maybe a link to this making of series. I don't know. But new game, if you press the M button, that gets the game running. And main character looks a lot more like they will in the end. Again, programmer art, but at least it's not the generic jacket guy from last time. Now, the items are a little smaller. That was an unintended side effect. My sprite sizes have doubled. I've made them twice as big, so if you're playing on a bigger resolution, you can see more of them. But in doing that, they're the same size on this screen, and everything, like the item sprites, got smaller. I'm not sure why that happened, but honestly, I kind of like the effect. I don't know. But, no, that's still not a rock, but... Oh, yeah. Seriously? Okay, that needs to... Yeah, I find more of those bugs while playing, like, ooh, I should probably move that message box and so on. So I'm playtesting as I go, and I'll have actual friends and coworkers playtest who are willing to be guinea pigs. So a huge mechanic that I'm glad to have working is you can actually throw things now. If I stop and set it down, it just drops the object. If you pick it up and then drop while you're moving, it throws it. So I don't have gravity working, so it will fly forever until it hits a wall. So yeah, hopefully gravity will be more in place by next time. Get them out of the way. Yeah, I have some other NPCs now with their own dialogue. Thank you. Yeah. And this box, it's the same. There you go. Used to be trying to look like you, but yeah, I know. That joke never gets old. Yeah, they have different random dialogue pop-ups. I want to, of course, get this set up so it depends on the player status or what items you have or game progress. You know, if you play Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda, pretty much any given top-down role-playing game or any role-playing game for that matter, you know exactly what I'm going for, so I won't belabor that. But yes, so enemies. They have their own graphics, and they are moving now. And I'm actually going to show you in code how I set this up. So, don't scream. This will be fun. So these are my different game files. I have, one for creatures, one for, the world system, one for the different maps. Now, I mentioned before that maps are going to be done one at a time dynamically. So here's how the file actually looks. 1 means a wall, 0 means floor tiles, and then you have my list of creatures or items. So it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. If I were using something like Java or C++, this would be done in a binary or text file, but because JavaScript is all run at real time, I can do it in program. But also, JavaScript does not have any built-in read-write file abilities. That's entirely for security reasons, because think about it, if web pages have the ability to write files on the server or a desktop, that's like, hackers would love that to no end. So when I get to that point, when I have to do save files, I'll probably do something like the old school Mega Man passwords where you enter the dots and locations or whatever, and that loads the game for you, back before save files were a thing. But yeah, so, AI. I'm totally on a tangent now. So, here's the base... Every creature, the fireballs, the rats, even like the players, the NPCs, they have this exact same class, where they have, their game stats, what floor they're on, a link to their inventory. They have, the vectors I was telling you about. What else? But if you look down here, where is it? No, not down here. Frame for animation. Where is it? Here we go. So right here, this.ai, right now it's nothing, but when you create a creature, let's see where we at. Yeah. Here we have new fireball, new guard rat. I'm calling them guard rats for now. New elf. What it does is it sets all that data and then assigns a new AI type. So here we have AI for the guard rats, you have AI patrol. For the fireballs, you have AI idle. And I'm going to show you those now. Yeah, so behaviors. Okay, yeah, so notice that each behavior has its own update function. Because that's really the only thing that changes that's different based on behavior is, well, right now, how it moves, like how direction-wise. So idle, it just stands there. Creature move, it does nothing. It just, that's what the fireballs do. Patrol, I should have commented this a lot better, but patrol, basically, that's what they're actually doing now. They just go up and down, and they pace, change direction every 2 seconds. And then wander, that's just, randomly roaming the map. But you know what? To show you that in action, no, not that. So, where's my new guard rat? Ah, there you go. See, it says AI patrol. I'm going to change that to AI wander. Yeah. Right, save. Refresh. Alright, new game. And see what happens. Yep. They randomly choose a new direction to walk in, and they don't see me yet. They don't attack. They don't do anything. They just, walk around, and that's pretty much it. So next time, I'll hopefully have combat in place where they will see and chase you and do their bad guys doing bad things. So that's what was done last week. And next time, I will hopefully have something that resembles a actual game with items that you can actually use that are good for more than just being thrown around a room, and bad guys that will chase you and fight you and do more, bad guy things. And if nothing else happens, I want to have portals and multiple levels working, because one room is really starting to get old. Another thing, with the end of the month coming up faster and faster, I'm running into the need to decide where this thing should go story-wise. And yeah, I have ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I have too many ideas. When I started this, it was going to be like, basically a Christmas-themed Zelda clone. And when I started brainstorming different story points, it started to resemble something more like Metal Gear Solid, and judging by the last session, it reads like a top-down version of Uncharted. I have a month, so I'm going to need to thin the herd of ideas that I've currently thrown out and really separate what I need from what I want and discern what is doable. And by next time, hopefully have more of a story worked out that I don't want to give away too much, but again, we'll see. So, thank you guys again for watching so much. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.